Hey, what's going on, guys? Cloud Kicker checking in for this week's edition of Cloud Talk, where you guys drop your grow questions and I get to them on Friday. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We got a bunch of grow questions this week, and we're gonna go ahead and get y'all taken care of. First grow question comes from Supreme Kasir. He asks, "Do you clean your plants after transplanting at any time, and if so, in what week?" Yes, I do clean my plants. You cleaning up the bottom area, but after the initial transplant, I like to give them at least maybe 5 to 7 days to adjust and get situated in the new root zone before I go ahead and shock them again and de-leaf all the lowers. And it's just going to be all the lowers that's not going to be a part of the main branching system because that's what we're really doing right now in the early stages of veg, establishing our branching system, getting everything branched out. So all this lower stuff you can really just discard and get rid of because it's just wasting energy that can be used to feed the plant. Um, so yeah, maybe wait a five, maybe say a week after transplanting. Do 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 do. Drew Cross got his seeds, man, for sure. Plant them shits. Let's see. Cool Beans 1203 asks, "Am I running CO2 and do I use compost teas?" I do use CO2 during veg and flowering. During veg, CO2 levels in my garden are around maybe 1,000 ppm, and in flower I bump them up to between 1,200 and 1,500 ppm. In veg, CO2 can help with your growth rate and your root acceleration. So yeah, CO2 is definitely recommended, but it's not as important in veg. So if you don't want to run it in veg, you don't necessarily have to. Or if you want to maybe slow down your growth rate, so if you're running a perpetual harvest, you could cut out the CO2 in your veg area. But yes, CO2 can be helpful during veg, and it's definitely needed in flower because if you're not running CO2 in flower, especially indoors, you're just wasting your fucking time and money, pretty much. Okay, compost teas. I used to use compost teas, all the guano teas and all that, but now I just do my weekly inoculant flush that replenishes the beneficial bacteria and the microbes and all that stuff into the soil zone. But I don't use compost teas anymore. The reason is because compost teas and guano teas were really a big thing in the 90s and early 2000s when most of the newer nutrient companies didn't really have all their shit together. But nowadays, most of the newer nutrient companies are covering the bases of the guano teas and all that stuff. So it's really not necessary, but you can still do it. I'm pretty sure it won't hurt anything, but you might not be helping as much as you think you are using your guano teas or whatever. But it won't hurt. Definitely won't hurt. Let's see. Do, 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 do. When when foliar spraying, does it leave spotted residue on leaves? This comes from Cool Beans 1203. What it is, Cool Beans? And what time do I go live on Fridays? When foliar spraying with heavy 16s foliar, it does leave spotted residues on the leaves because their foliar spray is like a slow release foliar. So those blotches or those patches are meant to be the slow release, almost like a cigarette patch. It just releases. It's like a cascading calcium, so it's just going to slow release the calcium over days until you go respray again. I can't say for other foliar sprays because I use a wetting agent that's gonna adhere your foliar spray to the leaves and not let them just run off. So I'm not sure about other foliar sprays, but definitely with heavy 16s foliar is gonna be spotted residue on your leaves. What time do I go live on Fridays? I don't really go live on Fridays because that discloses your location, and I'm really old school. Try to keep everything private as possible. Um, so yeah, I don't go live, but I do post my cloud talks on Friday whenever the fuck slow ass internet upload the videos. All right. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Chach, I can't pronounce this motherfucking name. I want to say Chewbacca so bad. Chazizi, I don't know what the fuck it say. He keep commenting about the sound and shit. But yeah, man. In my large rooms, and I think somebody else, Jay saw they commented about the audio in my when I do my large rooms. In my large rooms, I had a high velocity fan, so I'm not gonna go around and cut off every fan in my room just to do a video because that's gonna raise the heat levels in my room and it's gonna be too much bullshit. Then gotta go back around and cut them all back on. So I just try to talk as loud as possible in the room and try to project my voice. But sometimes I forget too because you know I'm just talking. You know what I mean? But just bear with me, man. I'm not finna go out and get no $100 microphone just to do some YouTube videos either. So I'm working with what I got, man. Hey, man. Shit. But yeah, most of the time in the large flower room, it's just a walkthrough, so it's nothing instructional. So there's no big need to hear my ass talking anyway, especially in the larger walkthrough rooms. But I try to make sure my instructional videos have a better sound quality. So, but yeah, that's what's going on with the sound, man. Uh, dun, 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 Jock Grant, what's happening, homie? How big should I let the roots get in the easy cloner before potting them? It was another question about potting too. Out of the easy cloner, say 4 to 5 inch root hairs, maybe. You know what I'm saying? You don't want after you transplant them, you don't want your plant still struggling to form roots. You want those roots to go ahead and go to work. So go ahead and give them um, maybe 4 to 5 inches at least. You want some hang time on the roots, man. You want some hang time, man. Let's see. Let's see. Well, these other videos. I mean, these other questions. Okay. NorCal Genetics asks, how long do I veg for? That was a good question. Straight out of the cloner into the 3 gallon pots. I will let them stay in the 3 gallon pots for at least 2 weeks. But if they need to go longer in the 3 gallon pots, I let them go longer. I just want a big, very webbed up root area. I'm talking about heavy, thick roots. You don't want them little straggly bullshit little root foundation. You want some real serious roots because you want that root system to go right to work when you put them in those 20 or 30 gallon pots or whatever you're transplanting into after your pre-veg or your 3 gallon pot veg period. So initially after the cloner, I put into the 3 gallon pots, let those stay maybe 2 weeks or so. After 2 weeks or the nice established root system, I go into my 20 or my 30 gallon pots. Only reason I have two different sizes is because I was trying to determine if it's going to be a larger yield with the 30 gallons opposed to the 20 gallons. I don't think it really is. So if I were to ever change my pots, I would probably settle for a 25 gallon just to sit in the middle. But I don't think it's a very, very big difference in the yield of the um, 20 to 30 gallon pots. Let's see. Oh, and after I go into the 20 to 30 gallon pots, it's another 2 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. So just go ahead and let them get right. Before I was flipping at around 3 feet, but now I think I'm gonna start flipping around 3.5 to 4 feet. That's when I might start flipping in the flower because I just want bigger plants and more robust plants. Um, what else? Let's see. Let's see. Hmm. Mm, mm, mm. Oh shit. Homie, J Saw said get one of those mic attachments that will filter wind. They got them for phones now. But yeah, I use the little earphone, the microphone on the thing, so I don't know. Um, Shouts out to my son. He dropped me a comment. Check out his page, Dad and me doing stuff featuring Aiden Travis. Love you, boy. Let's see. Shouts out Load Dog. Load Dog was having a heat and cold stress problem. He has a big ass greenhouse. That motherfucker garden is impressive, nigga. But yeah, I told him monosilicic acid might help with the heat and cold stresses since he is outside in the greenhouse and he is going to be affected by those elements a little bit more. Let's see. Mm, mm, mm. Supreme Kassir asks, can I do a video on my growing equipment and water distribution system? Wants to see if I'm using the manifold dispenser. If so, what type? I built my own watering system, and I will do another video showing you guys what it looks like and all that stuff. Um, I'll probably eventually start selling them because they are kind of hard to put together. I'll show y'all what it looks like or whatever, and if y'all interested in buying one, we could discuss prices. I think it cost me around maybe 300 roughly to build, 2 to 300 with parts and all that bullshit or whatever. I'll probably add $100, 150 on it for time and labor, whatever. But yeah, I show the manifold system, and I have an older video with it. Also, I'll probably link that, put a little plug to the video in this one too. Matt Cass asks, how the hell you get that trailer so straight, homie? I don't know, man. Just pull that motherfucker, get the zip ties, and you know what I'm saying? You do you got that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that I don't know whether I use um, measuring tape to make sure my levels are nice and even. Um, Make sure where I'm putting them at has a nice stable. They won't be able to come out, and just pull them tight as possible, man. And just, I don't know, shit. I don't know, man. I'll be high, man. What else? Let's see. Mm, 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 mm. I believe that may be about it. CO2. NorCal Genetics say get you some motherfucking more big crit in that bitch, homie. I fuck with NorCal. What else? What else? Yeah, man. Shouts out to everybody getting the seeds, man. Y'all pop them bitches and grow y'all some medicine. That's what it's about. Spreading love. Y'all believe that's gonna be it for this week in Cloud Talk, you guys. So I'm about to go downstairs, get my ass to work. You guys drop some grow questions for next week, and we gonna keep it growing. Till next week. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.